Hi, guys. Thanks for showing up to the second half of the Fisher and Fever show. This is the Nocturnal Feeding, and we're going to carry the conversation from that show over here. And then I'm also going to do a project that I want to do. I'm going to be setting up a Synodontis tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely love LRBs because he's got it set up so there's kind of like a little cave, and they just like go like sharks into the cave and out. But I am going to try to make a thing to put in it to customize it a little bit more for me because I love Cthulhu. Cthulhu is a sea monster, and I don't know if this is going to work. If it doesn't, then it's just going to... I collect a lot of ornaments, and it'll go into my ornament tree type thing because most of my ornaments don't go in tanks. But I've bought, and of course I couldn't find it right before the stream. I forgot all about it, and then I was looking for it. But I bought a little green light. It's an underwater light that you're supposed to be able to put in your fish tank. And I think it was like $9. It goes underwater just... And it actually has like a little remote where you can change the different colors. But I want it to be green. Mm-hmm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a monument type thing to Cthulhu. Because Cthulhu, like, he's always trying to take over the world. And he gets like temples and all sorts of things built to him. And I'm going to try to make a little temple out of Sculpey. Mm-hmm. Bake it. And I'm going to use my Dremel and cut into it. So there's cracks where you'll see this glowing green light coming out of it. So that's the goal for tonight. But while I do that, I also want to talk about the fish swaps and things too, like what James and I just went to. We went mainly to meet people and hang out with them, like Bill Witt and Dave from Rockin' Fish. And I didn't see Dave in the last stream, but I may have missed him because of the stupid top chat. And I'm on top chat again. Darn it. Okay, I'm in live chat now.
All right.
And then the Pattersons were there, and James and I love the Pattersons a lot. Absolutely. But I wish afterwards, Rockin' Fish Room and James and I went and checked out that cool fish room or pet store. And, you know, I wish we could have taken Bill and his wife and, was it a son? I don't know, little guy. And it just would have been fun if we could have all got together and maybe ate some food or, you know, and had some fun. But, or just all go to the pet store. The problem with going to a pet store is it's hard to talk to each other because everybody's everywhere looking at fish. So it's more fun, I think, to just go to a place and eat and talk. What were you going to say, James?
Oh, I was just going to say, for those of you that don't know, Ed and I are big foodies. That's our second favorite. Words are really hard. At least I was able to use them on the last stream. That is our second favorite thing to do when we go out of town is finding awesome places to eat. So it's like, hey, we get to go do fish stuff, and we get to find some really cool, awesome tasting food while we're running around.
Yep. Oh, I also got some cool stuff at my favorite fish store, Aquatic Aesthetics. I got some more of the petrified wood.
Very nice.
That's cool. I like to show the stuff off before it goes into the container behind me. And another piece. That one's really nice. I really like this one.
Very nice. Sorry, I'm trying to switch over to your account so that I can pull up what I use. That way I can see your super chats and things even after they disappear. We got 80 people watching and 56 thumbs up. You all are amazing. Appreciate you being here. If you have, and this is Andre Ellis, absolutely love the way this is worded, and I'm going to have to start working this into our stream switch over. But Andre Ellis says, jumping tank and flopping over to Ed. So if you've jumped the tank from the Fish Room Fever channel and flopped on over here, you're not familiar with Chattanooga Ed's channel, hit that subscribe button. Do me that favor. Very much appreciate everything Ed does, not just for myself as a good friend, but also for the fishing community. Consider hitting that thumbs up while you're at it. Ed's showing off his wood.
I am. This is my big souvenir from Cincinnati. I mean, look at this thing. This is awesome.
It is. And he forgot it.
I did. And of course, I lost the wood. But luckily, and I had to like ask permission to go back in because there's like this 2-hour line. And I didn't want people to go and get my wood while I wasn't there. But the lady like said, well, let me go talk to the lady to see if it's really there. And she did. And then she said, okay, you can get it. But, you know, why couldn't she just like have gotten it and handed it to me?
I can understand that. Again, it was not optimal, but as many people as there were that showed up, I can understand why they did it that way. It was also kind of a shame for filming purposes. I did get some footage and I am piecing together a video. A lot of it, pretty much all of it, is going to be voiceovered. But even things like, you know, I sit there and kind of talk to the lady a little bit that was in charge of the line, if you will, and running the show. And I was like, do you care if I just step in the room and get like a full pan through shot of the rooms and the tables and stuff? And she's like, no, that's fine, but be quick. So
yeah, it's really hard to be quick.
Yeah, it is. It's really hard to very steadily take your gimbal and videotape things and be quick. But I appreciate the fact that they did accommodate and allow me to do that. And got to do some decent footage of different vendors and things. Part of the problem was by the time I got back in for my second go and got to the second room, half the people were packing up and leaving.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me get out of here.
Oh, come on, Nico. I'm going to try to... Oh, I just dropped a box on Baby Cat. I didn't know she was... I have a FX6 box that is empty that the cats just love to either be in or on top of. And one of the cats is on top of it, and I just dropped the box that keeps the camera up. But I'm hoping that you guys can see the table. Yeah, you can.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we've got a good shot there. So what is that you got there? And we are going to be getting to the chats, the comments. I see lots of highlighted stuff as well as super chats. We will definitely be going through that. But we want to kind of get Ed started on his project. And as he's working on that, we can address things in the chat.
Now, with this Sculpey, it's like it's supposed to be completely safe for fish tanks. And I haven't ran my experiments yet with it. But the one thing is you have to smash it up. And then, like, what I want is I'm going to do, like, this is almost going to look like the Washington Monument type thing. And the problem with just doing it with Sculpey is it's going to melt, or when it's heating, it's going to get soft before it gets hard. So I have to have some type of foundation. So what I did was I went to the table saw and cut this wood. And then I just used some duct tape. And it's like not the normal duct tape, like the aluminum foil duct tape. And kind of made it, you know, strong. So what this is going to do is be like the foundation, and it's going to hold the thing together. So that's the goal. So I did that already today with the table saw. Still got all my fingers. That's a good thing. And, you know, James, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically, you know, make panels that fit all the way around, and then I'm going to try to seal them up on the sides. Then I'm going to like put like weird texts like hieroglyphics and stuff on there. And then later I'm going to go in with the Dremel and make cuts and holes in it. So that way, after I take it out of the wood box, it'll the light will come through it like it's like magical glowing.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, we'll see how this one goes. People seem to like the craft things, so I thought, well, we'll try to do another craft thing online and see how it goes.
Absolutely.
And why don't you say hi to some people?
Most definitely. So I can't go all the way up to the top. We got a lot of awesome people in here. Mary Beth McCovey's Not Noble, Jane Fish Rich, Mike's Aquatics and Things, Texas Fish Room, Eric Rodriguez, who said, by the way, Fisherman Fever, you guys rock. Love your shows. Thanks for addressing my question. Eric, you're more than welcome, and thank you very much. Glad that you're enjoying it. Daniel Velez, Not Nola Jane, hello again. Andre LSGRB Aquatics, John Larson, Radul Singh, and so many more. Appreciate you all being here. GRB said, I see Peck Tech has a Joey stream. Interesting. Yes, Peck Tech did a series of podcast style interviews, one of those being Joey, King of DIY. It's a fun stream, or interview rather. It really is. If you are a member of Peck Tech's Patreon, you have access to all of the footage ahead of time. Otherwise, he's releasing little snippets every week and then releasing the full video, one video a week. But I've seen all of them. I'm on my second go through of all of them. You know, he talked to Joey, he talked to Corey, he talked to Rachel O'Leary, Friday Fish Facts, Chris, or is it Fish for Thought? It's Chris. Fish for Thought. I think it's Fish for Thought.
I don't remember.
All the F's screwed up, and I don't help that with the FRF. There's so many like multiple F YouTubers that we get shortened down. You know, FFT, FFF, FRF. Or as Lisa calls me from KG, for real, which I like that. It stands out. And George Farmer is the other one. I highly recommend, if you're not already checking out what Peck Tech's got going on, go check that out. And I think it's only $3 a month for entry level on his Patreon. It is honestly well worth the $3 to be able to binge those multiple hours of interviews with those people ahead of time, pre-release, if you will. But I digress.
John is so professional. He's just an awesome guy.
Let me go through here.
Did you say he also did one with Corey too?
Yep, he had Corey, Rachel, Joey, Chris, and George. All right, I'm going to get these super chats real quick, and then I'm going to roll through here because I know I saw some highlighted things. Problem being, I switched to Ed's account, so the @Fishroom Fever is not highlighting for me now, but I can still pick them out. We had Fission Tactics first in the chat with the super chat. Thank you very much for the $3 super chat for Chattanooga Ed. And that was
awesome. Thank you.
Nothing attached to it, just throwing some money out. Again,
who was
very
that?
much appreciated. Fission Tactics.
Oh,
also just throwing money at us over in my stream. Again, very much appreciated. Of course, our good buddy Mike's Aquatics and Things throwing that $5 Karate Fox at you. Thank you for that super.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I know it, and he knows it too. Our buddy Scott's Aquatics, whose sticker I recently added. Actually, I put the sticker on today, even though I got him several weeks ago. But Scott, that is now on the tank. But Scott's Aquatics threw a $3 super sticker at you with the double fist bump pair. Thank you very much for that, Scott. Yep. And Mr. Fish, sir, Brad, with the how's it going? Sorry, I had to lean in and look. It's super tiny on this other screen. With the $5 how's it going pair just chilling there.
I haven't got to hang out with Brad for a while, and he's like a really hip guy.
He is. Very cool guy. All right. So I'm going to roll through the chat here. And actually, now that I went and found the super chats that were off screen, I'm going to switch back to my account so that the @Fishroom Fever is highlighted for me again, because that threw me off. I couldn't find that one comment. And I don't like to miss things. I already know I miss enough things even when it is highlighted for me. So bear with me. Get that going again. Of course, I'm going to have to. So what are you doing right there, Ed?
Okay, so right now I'm basically making the panels, the walls. But you can see how floppy this is. That's why it's so important to make, you know, a little frame for it all to go on. So the idea is I'm going to drop it all on like so, and then I'm going to spread it and pinch it. And afterwards, if I have to even break the wood, it'll all come apart if I just cut it. So I will do that afterwards. But I have to work the clay a little bit. And I was actually doing that in your stream. And that's when I was like petting the cat with my, like the clay is like on like all in my pores and my fingers. And I was like petting the cat, and I stopped and I went like this, and all this hair, like, it's pretty gross.
So
sorry,
what exactly is that clay for anybody that's listening that missed it the first time?
This is the Sculpty. It's oven bake. And everybody I have seen that's used it in their fish tank has no problem. I want to test it myself, and I'm not going to test it with this. I've actually made a I'm going to be releasing a video on it, but I made a Stonehenge, and I'm going to put that in a tank, and then I'm going to try to do my first carpeted tank with that, because I thought it would look pretty neat with the Stonehenge. Maybe I could show you some of the... Oh, maybe not. They're not here. I don't know where I put them. But I've made like these little Stonehenge that are about 3 inches tall, and I'm going to put it all in the middle of the tank and then try to carpet it. And I'm just going to put a couple of lucky guppies to experiment to see if it's safe, and probably keep them in there for a month. Nothing I do is quick. You know, I don't do anything rushed, so that way I don't accidentally kill a whole bunch of fish. You know,
yeah, you're not like me doing an 80% water change and throwing the bucktooth tetras behind me an hour before the stream starts.
Yeah, like Zen Ginger, she's saying something about as long as you're fully cured, sculpty. So yeah, will be harmless in the tank. It's basically just PVC. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so pretty good that I was able to read that from that distance.
Absolutely. And then another valid point, Zen said, maybe soak it in water first to remove residue. Not a bad idea. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, that's a really good idea. See, Zen is a really smart chick.
Absolutely. All right. Rolling and scrolling through here. If you had a question that was highlighted or a comment, and I have not addressed it, there's currently nothing highlighted in my chat as far up as I can scroll. So feel free to please throw that in there. My apologies for having to type it out again. But I had to do some back and forth. I'm Ed's tech guy. So I had to switch between accounts, and there was some gapping in the chat when I switched back and forth between Ed's and my accounts.
Well, and this is going to go in a... Oh, no, this is going to go in my 40. But I have to get my 255s on a sump set up, and I'm going to take my 2 ornate bichers out of the 40 and put them in the 55s, one of them in the 55s, and then I'm going to put Daisy Rice Fish in the other. And the Daisy Rice Fish, I have another idea for them. And the bicher, they're just going to get like normal... or, you know, wood and stuff and plants. But maybe some PVC pipe, because they really like going into my PVC pipe I have in there.
Absolutely. Delilah's Critter says, apparently I'm too old to figure out how to like this live stream from my phone. So I've seen this issue before. If anybody's having problems trying to like the stream and you're on a mobile device, if you look just below the video where the live chat meets up with the video, you're looking for that X in the right-hand corner. Not at the very top, that'll completely close us out, but the one that is just below the video feed, you'll click that, and then you'll see where you can hit that thumbs up button if you're looking for a thumbs up button. And we do appreciate that.
That was so funny, Delilah. I thought she was going to say, I'm a little too old to figure out if I like watching somebody play with clay.
Oh, no, you're never too old to watch that. This is an awesome aquarium project right here. And I think this opens up a lot of ideas.
Yeah. One thing I can't do, though, is spray paint it. See, I tried making one about a year ago, and I spray painted it, and the stuff in spray paint constantly melts the Sculpey. And even if it's completely cured, it will melt it. So, yeah, pretty big bummer.
So I see some highlighted things popping up, but I'm going to grab a couple of these super chats for Ed real quick. We got Dave's Aquarium Thoughts, who comes up live streaming behind us next after the Nocturnal Feeding Show ends with the $1 super sticker with the sunglasses smiley face emoji. Thank you very much for that, Dave. Hope you're doing well tonight. Hillbilly Aquatic again in the chat, coming on over from the Fish Room Fever stream prior to this with the $1 super pooper sticker.
All right, thank you.
And we got Foxy's Fishes also dropping that $1 super pooper sticker. Thank you very, very much for that. And let me scroll back up here because I know I'm having to bounce screens to catch all of these. Carrie Habercorn with the $5 super sticker with the Keep It Up exercise pair. doing its
thank
thing.
you.
I need to start lifting some weights like that. I tell you, that's
I
one
do
thing
too.
I will say about filming yourself and doing YouTube videos. There's some footage from when we went to Florida that I will never release. I looked at it and was like, oh my God, I need to start exercising more. I was like, okay, all right. That's what I look like on camera. Gotcha.
Well, that's why he hangs out with me, so he always looks smaller.
That's it. I like being the little guy in all the groups. All right. Let me grab these. Oops, sorry, go ahead, buddy.
Nope, it's all right. Just keep going.
We had Chubbs Aquatics was saying, Fish Room Fever, I just got 8 bucktooth tetras. They are super cool. Yes, I absolutely love them. I think that was your video that popped up on my feed earlier, Chubbs. If not, somebody else just got them, but I'm almost positive that was you. Because I saw where I was like, hey, I've got bucktooth tetras. I'm like, heck yeah. So, I love them. Absolutely love them. I know Kenny, Danican Aquatics, he got his after he messaged me like, should I get these? I'm like, yes. And he's absolutely loving them. You've got some and you're absolutely loving them. Very, very cool. Do me a favor. Let me know. Did you find them locally or did you have to order online? The only places I'm really finding online to order, it's a bit pricier. And like I said, I would like to add a couple more. But I'm not wanting to spend, $30 a fish and have just, 2 or 3 fish shipped and pay $50-$60. I don't want to spend $150 on 2 more bucktooth tetras. Preferably not.
Ouch.
Yeah. Paul Stero says, a Fish Room Fever, I dig hard pan out of my garden that looks like that. Wow, I can get into the modeling clay business. There you go, Paul. You never know what source of income you're going to find digging in the garden.
Yeah, and if you have a kiln, you can make all sorts of awesome stuff. James videotaped one guy, or actually 2 different guys that make clay stuff. And they make pleco caves and shrimp hides. And what else do they make, James?
All sorts of little different decor things, the caves and the multiple entrance caves and the cichlid caves and all sorts of stuff. The one gentleman, for those of you that have been hanging around the channel a while, it's the same guy that we met at the Kentucky swap when we went up to Select Pets event that he had set up there. And they were at this show again in Cincinnati. So I bought some more caves from them. He doesn't have a website yet, but he is working on a website. So hopefully next swap I bump into him, he'll have a website because I'd love to get you all connected with that guy. He makes some really cool designs. And you'll be seeing some of those caves in the upcoming video I'm working on. Throw on down here.
And what was weird was the guy, we saw him in Kentucky, and he's wearing a Kentucky shirt.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he's a Kentucky guy, and he said he's from Pennsylvania.
Yep. So we got Freaky Fish Lady with the $2 super sticker with the awesome Hardy sunglasses. Super cool chick. Love it.
Thank you.
Very, very cool. Thank you very much for that. Rolling on down through here. All right. Rico Stan. There it is. I knew Rico was hanging out in here with that super chat. Rico Stan with the $10 super chat says, what other fish tubers sell plants that you know of? I'm looking for a basic mix of plants that isn't available currently on fishroomfever.com. Yes, and I'm sorry. I took the live plants down too when all the shipping stuff happened. Over the holidays and winter months. But I could definitely recommend lrbaquatics.com. Check out Lucas Brett's. I've got a lot of plants from him. Of course, Aquarium Co-op. You can't talk plants without Aquarium Co-op. Got awesome plants ordered from them. Pogo. I need to get some more Pogo from the coop. Let's see. I feel like Oddball Haley.
She took hers down.
That's what I say. I feel like she took hers down. You've got, here Ed's going through them faster than I can even look, but I've got that covered anyway. Swiss Aquatics, yes, Priscilla at Swiss Aquatics, another awesome one. Goodness. I know that there are several more, and if you're in here, please yell at me because there are several other fish tubers that do plants, and I just can't think of the names right now. I have to remember it's 11 o'clock at night for me. It's been a long day.
Diego has some.
Yeah, multiple aquariums. Absolutely. Poor Zen Ginger gets twitchy when you say things quote unquote wrong. It's Sculpt P, not Sculpt T. Twitching. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't make fun of her Texas accent.
But
what was I? Oh, Dustin's plants. He does a lot too.
yeah,
Dustin. You know, he's really known for his plants. Got real quiet.
I'm sure we'll get lots of. Sorry, I was thinking. I'm sure we'll get lots of people mentioning in the chat. By all means, that's perfectly fine. Let us know if you've got an awesome fish tuber that you buy stuff from that maybe I've left out. You could go check on Get Gills. Of course, you're going to have some people on there. I know we've got people like HC Aqua, Our Fish Collective. You're going to have some more fish tubers on there. Several other places, I'm sure. Thank you again, Rico Stan, for the super chat, buddy. Okay, so like Pat saying, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I had a lot of fun with Rico Stan on I want to say Roxanne, but wait, what's Roxy's? Foxy's.
Yep.
Foxy's. I'm sorry. On Foxy's channel tonight. Before this one, it was like I think it was at 7 o'clock. But we had a total blast on that channel. It was a lot of fun. Highly recommend everybody going out there and checking her out. She's
Absolutely.
so cool.
Select Pet says, could Ed use something like concrete tint to change the color?
That's a really good idea. What I was actually planning on doing is, now if they make it in almost every color, I wanted to just go with white, and I'm going to really try to put a lot of light on it. I'm going to try to grow algae on it because I think it'll be really cool. I just got twisted up. I bought these plant grow lights where I'm going to directly pound it with light.
And where did you pick that up at?
I got this at Lowe's. It was in their clearance aisle.
Nice.
They were $19 a piece. I don't know what they normally are, but I bought 2 of them because I also thought, I can try to do direct light on situations because they're really neat. They got like the swivel, the turns. I could even use it as a studio light for anything. Let's see how bright it is.
And we've got Fat Man Aquatic says, Chattanooga Ed, as an artist, I feel like if I mix my aquarium hobby with my art hobby, I would get lost down the rabbit hole. LOL. Love the idea. Appreciate that, Fat Man. Good to see you in here.
That man's awesome. I don't know if I'm really a real artist. I just like to have a lot of fun.
Then Xanadu with the $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Xanadu says, Ed, try Mod Podge with a little paint and brush versus spray.
Oh, awesome.
Great idea. And thank you again, Xanadu, for that super chat, buddy.
That is a really orange light. Can you guys see how orange this is?
Yes.
Or pink? Crazy. Okay. Now that I can't see. But that was interesting. Oh, it has an on-off switch.
There's another one. SC Aquatics. Steven made a special order so I could buy a bulk purchase. That was in Ginger to Rico in regard to the plants. So yeah, there's always at least one person that I can't get the name to come to mind. Chubbs was saying that he did find those Exodons, the bucktooth tetras, at an LFS $7.99. Love it.
Wow.
When are we gonna be in Chubb's area? I need to pick some of those up.
Well, we do need to go out that way actually, because we need to make a drop-off, a delivery sometime soon to the Houston area. And we could stop by Chubb's, and he said that he'd take us out on his boat too.
All right, and I know he's got some gators I can swim with down there.
Yeah, his gators might be a little meaner.
Well, a little meaner. I grew up in Florida with the gators and the sharks, so I'm kind of used to that stuff. Had to move to Tennessee to get bit. Go figure. Freaky Fish Lady with a great tip here says a little bit of cornstarch will help it not to stick to hands and table.
Ooh. I'm going to put cornstarch all over this thing. because that's a great tip. Okay, can you entertain them for 1 second while I run and get my cornstarch?
Absolutely, I can. All right, so we're going to roll through here and grab some more questions and such. Melissa Foster says chili raspberries arrived today right after a tank leak in the one ready for them. Ooh, that stinks. I had to put them in with my endlers and rice fish for now. Think okay, question mark. They're doing okay, I guess. Lost 3 out of 12. Well, I am sorry you had a couple losses. And I know that stinks. And sometimes that happens. You know, that is the reality of fish keeping. We can plan quarantine tanks and ideal scenarios, but sometimes life happens. Life happens to all of us, as I like to say. And this is one of those cases. I would imagine they're probably going to be okay for the brief time until you can get everything set up properly. Again, I'm sorry you had a couple losses, but hopefully the other 9 will hang in there and be doing all right.
Oh, what died?
She ordered some raspberries, lost 3 of them, but the tank she'd ordered them for started leaking, so she had to put them with her endlers and rice fish.
Well, you shouldn't be bad there.
Flip Aquatics is another one. Let's see, rolling on through here. We got Peblet Creek Aquatics with the $3 super sticker with the My Hero Fox. Absolutely love that. Cute as can be. You're Peplin's hero.
Speaking of flips, check it out.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a flip shirt.
Yeah, Rico Stan mentioned I've bought pretty much everything from the coop. Aquarium Co-op, just wanted to try a different place. Not to put anybody's over anybody else's, but I absolutely love LRB stuff. I really, really do. Everybody has awesome stuff. Let me say that. Everybody's got awesome variety. And I'm not saying I wouldn't buy from any of the people mentioned. I'm just a huge LRB fan. I really, really am. And of course, and every once in a while I get to go pick at some Peck Tech stuff. And I'll be like, hey, this is overgrown. I need to trim this. You need some plants?
Yeah, he's always giving away stuff. He's awesome.
Gotta love that.
That's why we like him.
Right. Not because he's a cool guy or anything, and he's big on games too. But Peplin, thank you again for that $3 super sticker. Hope you're doing well. Mr. Fisher says, you may have answered and I missed it on your stream, but do people ever bring 75 or larger to swaps? I personally, now this is somebody that's not been to a whole lot of fish swaps, but I personally have not seen myself, nor really in any footage of fish swaps, people bringing tanks 75 gallons or bigger to swaps. A lot of times, yes, you've got the local people that are there with tables, but a lot of times the people coming and paying for tables and setting up aren't necessarily local. People from 5 or 6 different states at a swap is not uncommon. So having to transport very large tanks like that, long distances, probably not viable in terms of profitability. And also you run the risk of breaking the tank, of course. And then if you don't sell it, you have to haul it back. And then you're kind of put in the spot of, do I really want to lose a lot of money on this tank just to get rid of it so I don't have to haul it back? Because that's also one of the quote unquote upsides, if you will, is being able to snag some deals at a fish swap. But I don't generally think, in my experience and what I've viewed, that people are bringing the big tanks. They're probably just listing them locally online and dealing with it that way. Ooh.
Check it out.
Greater Pittsburgh Aquarium Society 2021 auction dates, Sunday, April 25th and Sunday, September. I got to move the chat to see it.
11. The 12th. How do I'm looking at the 12 and I say 11. I don't know. I'm sorry, folks. Oh, jeepers.
There we go. Fatman did say Dustin's Fish Tanks and NWO Aqua Hobby sell plants. Haven't used them, though.
Well, let's talk about other swaps. We just talked about that swap. I don't know. I don't have my books next to me to find out exactly when other clubs are going, but I believe the 25th, is it this month, or it's the last weekend of this month. Our club in Indianapolis is going to be having a swap, or not a swap, a auction. But we might be going to the Charlotte because Charlotte is having a swap.
Yeah, no, we definitely might be going. Sorry, I was reading through the chat, and Paul Zadero said, "Does Ed have a hardware store in his basement?"
No, it's in my garage. Why's that?
Oh, just because you're always pulling out random stuff. We never know what you're going to have. Never know. And it's awesome. I absolutely love it. Always have a tool for the task, right?
Yep.
And speak of the devil, and she shall appear. There's Oddball Aquatics. Says, "Hey, kids, just want to say hi before I went to bed." Haley, if you are still listening, which that was 7 minutes ago, so you're probably not. But if you can verify whether you will be selling any plants, let us know. Enrico Stan also asked in the chat.
I wish Haley was still here. I would say probably 80% of my plants are originally from her. It's great. Well, no, I don't know. I bought an awful lot from Aquatic Aesthetics, but my Haley, I've gotten so many great plants. I've got all my jungle val from her. Not my corkscrew. I got the corkscrew from my local guy. But Haley, the vowel was incredible. I got her, what's it called? The guppy grass is originally from her. And she was just going to throw it away. And I said, well, I'll take it. And she gave it to me. So that was awesome. And now that guppy grass is like all across the country. It's crazy. So many people are trading it. And it's like, it's too bad that you can't get her name somehow officially on it because
right.
It has been, it's in hundreds of tents right now.
Well, but, she may have the pet tech mindset because we're like, hey, we've got some of your frog bit. And he's like, no, that's your frog bit now.
Yeah.
But where was it? Select Pet, of course, mentioning the Indie Club, Circle City Aquarium Society that Ed and I are both members of, is having an auction on the 28th. And of course, yep, John is too at Select Pet. Who knows? Maybe we show up to that. Maybe we don't. Plans in the making. We shall see.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do a whole lot of stuff right now. James's better half, it has a hurt leg. And so it's kind of hard for her to watch the boys all the time. I mean, she can watch them, but she can't do anything. She can't do much with them, unfortunately, because her poor little wings broken her leg. So we got to be selective on how we pick our spots.
Yep. Zen Ginger, thank you for posting that. She posted Haley's code is oddball15. If you go to Aquatic Arts, you can get 15% off using that code. So again, mentioning the plants. There were a couple of questions or back and forth. Does that stuff need to be baked or will it cure on its own, Ed?
It's a baked one.
Okay.
I do have the normal dry stuff, but the problem with that is I think that it would just absorb water.
Gotcha.
So the air dry I don't think would work. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pack it around this thing, but not pack it to it. So it should slip if I really wanted it to.
And for anybody popping in after we initially talked about it, what are you making, Ed?
I am making, it's going to be like, well, kind of like the Washington Monument, but it's kind of like an idol to Cthulhu. It's a science fiction-y type thing. Boy, there's so much cat hair stuck to this. It's terrible. I keep pulling cat hair off. Or fur. I guess they don't really have hair. I don't know. Is it fur or hair? I guess it's fur.
Rico mentioned LRB's pretty much out of all of his plants. He probably has them and has not updated. I think in just about every single one of his live streams, he mentions, I need to update the site. I need to add these to the site or something along those lines. So can maybe poke him and find out, send him an email, or hopefully he'll get it updated. But I can understand how that is. And
So what?
thank you, Alec. Alec Kumanoff was saying, Haley said plants only locally now. I can understand that. So good to know. Good to know.
Well, Haley's such a busy gal. I mean, wow.
Select Pet, I don't know. Select Pet's got the great question tonight. It says Fisherman Fever, so you can't just use Play-Doh to make a cheaper version of Ed's masterpiece? LOL.
The problem with Play-Doh is be too delicious to eat. Everything would eat it.
Right.
And it's got a lot of salt.
Oh, yeah, and when it gets wet, it tends to get kind of runny.
Yeah.
Oh, the joys of parenthood, finding out the different forms of Play-Doh based upon its liquid content.
Oh, wow. So whatever side is the worst side, that'll be the side that will go to the back, obviously. I'm thinking this is going to be the worst side. That'll be the good side. So now the goal is to also make this look like a rock. So I don't want it to be perfectly smooth. I want to kind of put little divots and things because it was kind of like a prehistoric time when Cthulhu was in power last on Earth. So I want things to look very primitive on it. Like I did a painting of Cthulhu in the background and Stonehenge in the front. Mm-hmm. And it's like Stonehenge may actually be a Cthulhu type idol type thing. It was just goofy. But
you
gotta have fun.
Melissa Foster says, great plants from Imperial Tropicals. Absolutely. And that's why I always feel bad recommending because there are so many names that I don't say. LRB Low for Weeks. Can't go wrong with aquarium co-op either. Definitely can't. But Imperial Tropicals, Rico, since you had asked that and you said that you've pretty much ordered everything from the co-op already, Imperial Tropicals, another great guy or great group of people.
But check out a local swap.
Yeah.
Because there was so many plants. I bought one plant. I bought a Madagascar fern. That was all I bought. And but I could have bought a ton more. There was so many.
Looks like Fat Man Aquatics is out of here. Fat Man Aquatics, have a great night. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Michelle Kinsey says, Fisherman Fever, I'm sorry I missed your live stream. I will be watching the replay tomorrow. I love you guys. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Michelle, for that. No apologies necessary. I really do appreciate you popping through here, and I appreciate the replay crew. We just love you guys. Love the Fish Fam. It's an awesome community we have here, and we're glad you enjoy what Ed and I do.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. Where was it? Oh, I can't find it anymore. I can't find it. It was referencing just kids and whatnot. But I will say my kids pranked me. One of the reasons I hate them watching the prank channels on YouTube. I went to have my shave before the stream tonight. And my toilet seat and the sink handles and the sink faucet and the bathroom door were all covered in shaving cream. Thankfully, they left me just enough shaving cream that I could shave for the show tonight. But you gotta love it. Gotta love it. You never know what you're going to get with a couple of boys.
Okay, when I was in high school, I would do this. We did this thing called choir tour where we would go during the summer and sing at all different campgrounds and places all over the place. And it was a whole bunch of us high school kids. And we were always trying to do pranks to each other. And I took clear syrup and wiped it all over one of my buddy's toilet seats. It was my buddy Kevin Belterman. And she said he sat on it at night and got up and didn't clean it off. And I got him the next day because he was hoping somebody else would have cleaned it off, and he sat on it again.
Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. Awesome. So we've got some awesome ideas in here. Let me scroll back up a little bit. Oh, where was it? Douglas Ragsdale says Ed should use the hieroglyphs from Stargate in terms of doing impressions. And where was it? Oh, it was Deborah Sanders that said your petrified wood would make a good impression on the clay. Absolutely. Paul Cetera mentioning Ed's wearing the shirt Flip Aquatics for plants as well. I thought I mentioned Flip. If I didn't, my apologies, and thank you very much for that, Paul. Most definitely, you could check out Flip Aquatics. Let's see, going back up here. Melissa's asking any swaps in Nash Vegas. I'll have to ask Ed when he gets back. He can't hear us currently without the headset on, or can't hear me. He can't hear you anyways. But I will double check. He may or may not know. We are working Saturday. We'll go over a list of events. We just didn't have it compiled before tonight's show, and kind of did a mishmash, a flip around of what we were going to discuss. Andy's back. So Melissa would like to know if there are any Nashville swaps that you're aware of.
No, the problem with Nashville is we don't have a club. We don't have any clubs in this state yet. I mean, we're starting one here in Chattanooga, but it's just a baby right now, and there's nothing in Nashville. So there's like a critter show where people sell critters and stuff, but I think they might even be traveling people. So, yeah, kind of a bummer.
Yeah, Paul said there he goes again, checking out the hardware store.
See, I happen to have, I said I do a lot of fish tank ornaments that I don't put in fish tanks, and I love this one. But I will use those hydroglyphs or chevrons or whatever they called them in that show. That's a great idea. Absolutely.
Yeah, the Stargates are definitely very, very cool. North Carolina swap in 2 weeks? Question mark, says Mickham.
That was the one we were talking about. The Charlotte one. And is it Charlotte?
I think so.
Okay. If we do that one, we won't do Indy probably. So we're kind of up in the air on which one we can do, and maybe we'll have to see when James
I guess my question, and we could go into this afterwards, but since I don't want to say we don't have anything else to talk about, but since there's a minute to talk about it, if it's an auction versus a swap with people at tables, I would prefer a swap. If they're both auctions, then I don't know. We'll kind of look and figure it out. If they're both swaps, same thing. But since I'm not necessarily in the market for new fish, so to speak, and I'm more going for the environment and the fish people, and just to have a good fishy time, I would prefer a swap where it's, people bringing stuff to different tables. You can kind of look around, versus an auction of a bunch of people sitting in a room bidding. I like the auctions, but I like the auctions when I have lots of tanks that I'm putting stuff in or need stuff for. I'm trying to keep the downsized, and an auction is the last thing I need for that. Especially after the Swimulus, hashtag Swimulus check. That's going to be an interesting time to go to an auction when people have some extra money in their pocket from that.
Well, I can tell you this much, is the one in Charlotte is a swap.
Gotcha. So
the one in Indy is a auction.
So we may not go to Indy then. If it's between the two, I would rather go to a swap, as much as I love going to Indy. I don't know. We'll have to see. Ed and I will talk about it, and we'll figure it out, and we'll show up somewhere.
Yep.
We'll hang out with some fishy people and probably buy some fishies.
I don't know. I'm kind of filling up. I want my spare tanks now just to work on line breeding. So I'm actually kind of running out of room.
Yeah, well, I'm going to, now that I've taken down tanks, I'm going to rearrange the room I'm in now. The desk that I'm at streaming from is actually, I built it to where it folds up into the window frame, so it's flush with the wall. So I can always undo this setup, fold this desk/table back up, and then stream from my other desk or maybe the fish room that I just got set up. And then I could put a rack of tanks here specifically for breeding. And that's kind of what I'm probably going to do. The 40 breeders that are kind of angled behind me, which I know I'm not on camera right now, but most of you are familiar with the other tanks besides the one directly behind me. Those are going to go flat against the wall to give more room floor space wise. So I think I'm going to end up with a place where I can set those 16 tanks back up that I took down, because I only need 4 foot of floor space to set that up. So
now here's another thought, just to think. We could also do the Houston trip too.
absolutely.
And I mean, that one is more just a drive and, a fun hangout to see the person that we need to see in Houston. But, that's also a possibility for something we need to do. The Charlotte one, I think, is going to be a lot of salt water. So it's going to be a lot of frags, from what I understand.
Gotcha.
So,
I'm not ready for that just yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like we're not really going to buy stuff just to hang out and meet people, but they are salties.
I'll hang out with salties. Recon 338, what's going on? Says, any experience with Siamese algae eaters? Just a little. If they're like not even enough to qualify being able to legitimately answer questions. I guess
I've had them. They eat. If you're getting them, they're a pretty fish, and they're really cool. Like if you get them and you just want to see them swimming around, because they're a big, pretty fish once they get big. But they'll stop eating your hair algae and things like that when they get big. But when they're little, they eat like crazy. So if you're just looking for it to eat the hair algae and things like that, get them small. And when they get big, train them back to your local fish store and get some small ones again. So keep giving the big ones, because the local fish store, I think they have an easier time selling big ones than little ones. So it's kind of a nice deal. And you're always getting somebody that actually eats the algae.
Absolutely. And they were kind of tricky to find. I know Sean Pecktech for the longest had us on the lookout as we were going to swaps and things. Like, if you see any, let me know, please. I need a couple.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think you committed it to memory, because I mentioned it several times when we'd be out. Like, Sean's looking for these.
Oh.
But
yeah, sorry.
Let me see. Well, Florida Fish Rescue, how's it going, buddy? Yeah.
I bought mine from Dan on Get Gills, but I know that my local fish store had some great big ones that somebody gave them, so they probably did the trade-in.
Absolutely. And so right here going on in chat, one of the reasons I love this YouTube community so much, we've got John Cox and Melissa Foster working on trying to get a club going out in the middle/westerny, not East Tennessee area, out towards Murfreesboro and Nashville. And that's one of the things that's so cool about this, is you can run into people that are from the local area to you and kind of conspire and plot and make fish clubs and meet fish people and just grow the hobby. Absolutely.
For sure.
So we got about 5 minutes left. It is 11:26 Eastern time.
I barely got done.
I know. This might be a 2-week thing that you do here.
Yep. Well, I don't know if it will be. I think I'm going to have to just keep going, because I don't want to dry out.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
But maybe next week, I don't think I can drummel. I'm not going to drummel it on camera because it'll be too loud.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe you guys will just get to see the finished product.
That'll be very cool.
Yep. And I'll look into different types of dyes and things to put on there.
And there we go. Aquatic Aesthetics. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nope, that's all right. What did Rob say?
Rob at Aquatic Aesthetics, Chattanooga, Tennessee, local fish store, says, I have several in the store. So boom, there you go. If he's still looking for some, I will let you know. I think he's got it taken care of. He was trying to get his Megaflex algae tamed, but I think in listening to his live streams that he's putting out right now, he's mentioned having that taken care of. Or maybe he talked about that when he was on the Instagram live with George Farmer for Owasi. That was pretty cool.
Here's a couple other rocks I got at Rob's.
Nice.
That is just a beautiful.
Love the layering on that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I cherry pick. Every time I go in there, I buy 2. So I get to cherry pick and pick the best ones he's got out. And then he's also selling Repashy now.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to swing by there and pick up some things.
He's a huge Repashy. I don't know if it's dealer would be the right word, but supplier. He has everything except for maybe the bird Repashy. I think he said they have bird Repashy, but he's got the lizards Repashy, and then he's got all the different fish. I just happen to get the live bearer because, you know, that's me. But eventually, I think once I get figuring it out, I'm going to get the catfish stuff and start feeding it to the Synodontis. Once I get the Synodontis, I'm going to be getting my Synodontis. I bought like 12 babies for $40, which is a great deal at this fish swap. But I'm going to buy another 10 of them from Diego as soon as the fish tank's ready. So that's pretty cool.
That is awesome. So John Cox is headed out. John, have a great night. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Get you a little bit of sleep. I gotta say, I love Mike's Aquatics and things, and Merdul Singer going back and forth in the chat with the jokes here. I'm having a fun time reading these.
I've got to figure out, John, let me know tomorrow what time we want to meet. I'll let you know when the girls are thinking they'd like to eat.
Speaking of those lovely ladies, Ginger Graves with the $5 super sticker with the wow guy with the hat flip backwards. Love it. Thank you very much for that, Ginger Graves. Appreciate it.
Well, maybe they've been talking in the stream.
Yeah.
We all went and had dinner together about a month ago. So this would be kind of cool if we just start doing this. Maybe this is the start of a club.
There you go. Absolutely. So Douglas Ragsdale says, is that Deadpool hanging on Ed's headset cord?
It is. Very good. If you like comic books, check out Rico Stan on Monday nights at 8 o'clock Central. No, not Central. My whole life I've been in Central Time. Now I'm in Eastern. At 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And Rico and I talk about comic books. No matter what I do, this thing doesn't look right. I want it to become I want it to be a lot sharper point. I mean, I was going to connect it, but yeah, I don't want it to look like a roof.
So John Cox says, I cannot meet up tomorrow. Chattanooga Ed.
Oh, well, I tell you what, John, maybe Monday, or not Monday, Saturday, if James and I go to the deal in Kentucky to see Select Pet, maybe I could drop it by then.
Oh, lots of comments on what that looks like when you add the top part on there. But I do want to say, Deb Paul D, thank you very much. Said, receive the Indian almond leaves from you. My auto sinkless fry. Love them. Thanks for fast shipping. Absolutely. I'm sorry I didn't get them out to you a day sooner. I actually was having car trouble and needed I would have walked that day had a ride not presented itself, but I got transportation up there to ship that out. So I'm glad that they're enjoying those, and I do appreciate the order very, very much. I also don't know that I ever sent you your tracking number, if we're being completely transparent here, because I left that receipt in the vehicle where I got the ride. But I appreciate you. I'm glad they're doing well on those. Let me see through here. I see Fantastic Freaks throwing some money at you. But Ginger Graves did say, Tiffany and I just need to know when and where to meet y'all.
I think Bob and I are pretty much cool with any time you want to meet. So I'm the worst person to be asking because I just will do anything. So if you guys want me to make the decision, do you want to tell me what restaurant you like and we'll go there?
So lots of comments towards a phallic symbol looking thing that you're making there. Oh, gotta love people in chat. But Fantastic Freaks, our buddy, once again, the Puffer Man. I'm gonna start calling him the Puffer Man. I don't know, that might get taken differently. But with $5 super chat says, howdy guys, just got home, but have loved listening to the streams on the way home. Rocking the Deadpool, I see, Ed. Need to get a Venom or a Doc Ock too.
You know, I don't know where I got this as a gift from the girls at Christmas time, and I've had it for like 2 years, so I don't know where they got it, but maybe a Hot Topic or something. I don't know.
There you go. So SC got a hula. Oh, sorry.
While Fantastic is there, I want to promote one more last time to see if anybody wants to play fantasy fish baseball. And I've got like 4 guys that are interested. And we really need 4 more, I think, to be a good league. Okay.
Oh, goodness. I can't even with the chat right now. Whips World, have a wonderful night. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Always good to see you. Kenny E, thank you for dropping the link there. Appreciate that very much. But SC Catahulas was saying, Ed, 2/3 of the booths at the Carolina show should be freshwater. So there you go.
Oh, 2/3.
Yeah. That gives lots of awesome freshwater stuff and a great opportunity to see some saltwater stuff. I really need to not do the saltwater stuff yet, but technically my saltwater tank has been up for about a year-ish now. I'd have to actually go back and check the YouTube videos to see the date specifically. But it's cycled and all that. It's still running. It just only has a cleanup crew in it. But it's not like...
That's my favorite part. The cleanup guys. All
the little crabs and snails and all that stuff. I love them. Absolutely love them. Oh, goodness. All right, I'm going to bypass all of the...
Rob at my local fish store at Aquatic Aesthetics, he had different crabs that have molted in his store, like on his counter. And I thought it was a rubber crab. And I went and grabbed it and I went, oh, this is cute. And it was like a real little hard thing. Luckily, I didn't break it, but I felt bad.
All right. Fantastic Freaks did say, I don't MLB as well as other leagues, but I'll give it a go.
Awesome. We're at 5. That's super cool. Well, I don't know baseball very well either, but I do it just because it's fun. I don't even watch baseball. So.
Ed, I do envy you not being able to see the chat right now. It has definitely taken a turn. Zen Ginger says, if I'm going to bypass the inappropriate combo, going to be a long scroll. Absolutely. And it's not that I don't agree with the humor. It's simply that we do try and keep it kid friendly. And we do have a lot of underage people that watch these shows and watch the replays if they're already in bed. So that is all.
I said it was going to be a rustic Washington monument. And I mean, right now, I think I've kind of got a Washington monument type thing.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. It's also late night, and I'm probably not the only one enjoying a nice beverage while watching this. So that was another thing. Thank you to my children. Funny story. I went to make a drink prior to the streams. Had a nice cold 20-ounce Coca-Cola in the door of the refrigerator. Pour the first portion of my drink. Go for my Coca-Cola. It's gone. And my youngest loves to steal sodas. I was not amused. I had to use my warm Coca-Cola that I'd had earlier.
Dominic.
And there we go. Sarah J. Sieber says, Fisher Fever, I meant to mention before 90-gallon would be wonderful for the marine/reef tank. 75 gives a lot of options as well. Absolutely. So the pros and cons kind of on that. The 90-gallon is reef ready. So it's got the bulkhead for the overflow and all that. Currently, that 90-gallon runs into a 100-gallon tank that is sitting directly below it. I wouldn't want to change the 100-gallon to saltwater also. Probably not. It's doable. But it would mean side plumbing the 90-gallon off to a sump that sits next to that stand, and I don't really have a place to put it. Or just capping it. Of course, there's the potential if there was any type of leak in that plumbing, that salt water is going to leak down into a freshwater tank below it. So there is that to consider. But who knows? Maybe I just do them both saltwater and do one that's fowler or fish only with live rock and do one that's actual reef. That could be pretty cool too. That way I could have the best of both worlds. I could have some things that aren't reef safe in the 100-gallon directly below it and things that are reef safe in the 90-gallon on top. So yeah, quite a few options. And of course, I could just leave it all fresh and go salt in the 75 gallon. Mickham says this was once an aquarium chat. LOL. Absolutely, we're trying to get back that way. Kenny E with Danigan Aquatics. What's going on, brother? Throwing a $5 super sticker with the extra size pair. Mic drop. Yeah, mic drop indeed. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to getting the new mic. I've wanted one of those Blue Yetis for a long time, and it will already work with the arm, the boom setup that I have. So I'm really looking forward to getting that. I think that's going to do wonders for the audio quality as well. Rico Stan says, "Man, I am lazy. Just spent $100 on the co-op on plants again. Most other places were out of stuff, and I am too impatient to wait." Absolutely, Rico. I understand. Plus side is you can't go wrong with aquarium co-op plants. So at least you know your money's going to a good place, and you can get the plants, quick. So gotta love that. Sarah's saying, "Oh yes, that sounds like a great plan. LOL. How much extra work would plumbing the 75 be?" So if I did a non-drilled overflow to a sump, not a whole lot, because it's fairly simple to build the overflows once you understand the principles of how they function. That's actually what I'm going to be doing for the 200 gallon or the 220 gallon that the Pranos are going to. I'm going to put a sump system on that just for extra filtration, but I'm not drilling that 220 gallon tank. I could, in theory, Recon, yes, I am trying to keep my composure. I could, in theory, drill that tank. Well, I assume I haven't even checked to see if it's tempered, but I don't know. If I set up the 75, I'm probably going to do a canister on it, maybe multiple canisters. So I'm almost tempted now in the additional contemplation to set up the 90 gallons as a reef tank and the 100 below it as a fowler or fish only with live rock. Just have an entire salt system there. I think that could be pretty cool.
What do you guys think about this wording? Like, I'm just putting different weird symbols and whatnot. Now, if I load the whole thing with those, you guys think it's worth it, or should it just stay smooth and I kind of crack it up a little bit?
Personally, I like the hieroglyphs or the symbols, but
okay, then I'll just load it with it, and I think it'll be a lot better. I don't like the gap I have in between them. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. I'm going through the comments here, trying to snag the appropriate ones. Okay. There was Rico Stan right there. There was Recon saying, waiting for me to laugh. Delilah's Critter says, I'm pretty impressed with how focused Ed is when he crafts. Looks very therapeutic for him.
I have a lot of fun. I love it. I really do. See, now, the more I do it, the quicker it's going to come and the better it looks.
Ed. Oh, Ed. That's not going to help with the comments. Okay. Let's see. Scrolling through here. Susan for SLC Aquatics. How are you, Fish Fam Mom? Says, James, you do a great job hosting and co-hosting. Thank you very much, Susan. I do appreciate that.
Susan is the best.
Let's roll on through here. Gotta love SLC Aquatics. The Fish Fam Mom. Aquatic Aesthetics. Rob says, that looks Korean.
Oh, thank you.
3 more likes to get to 100. Let's get it, says Dave's Aquarium Thoughts, which is probably about to start streaming in 4 minutes. I know Dave is super kind and sets a 5 or a 15-minute kind of buffer between us. I was actually working on pulling that up when I got sidetracked, so let me take a look at that.
I should have got a whole bunch of Korean words here.
Who gave Zen a wrench? I don't know. That was poor judgment on somebody's part.
Oh, is Murdural? Or
yeah,
how do you say M's? How do I make him a I don't know if he wants to be one of these things, but he is, because he's a really good guy. Or he's really good at it. Well, I was going to make him one of those moderators, and I remove his moderator. Oh, he is. Okay. So sorry I didn't ask you, but you do a really good job in other streams.
And he was actually already thanking Susan for the super chat before you did that. So, hey, there you go. But Susan for SLC Aquatics with the $10 super sticker with the superhero flying pair. Thank you very much for that, Fish Fan Mom. Very much appreciated. I hope you're doing well. Sorry, I'm trying to look here. Scheduled for 11:45. So, yeah, about 2 more minutes. And I think we're going to send everybody on over to Dave's. That way Ed can play with his temple.
You know what? I'm going to be sneaky, and I'm going to put FRF in there.
Oh, I like it. I appreciate it.
So there will be a Fishing Fever thing in there. Does anybody else have like a cool looking symbols? Oh, I could do a SLC. We're going to do it now. Except it's kind of hard to do S's.
Sorry, I'm scrolling through here looking. Composure. Okie dokie. My Fish Tanks Aquatics, how is it going? New name to me, though it could be somebody that changed it. We've had a lot of name changes lately.
There's my
Let's see here.
My SLC.
Very, very cool.
Nobody will ever know. Whoa.
Fish and Shrimp by Rich says 75 and visional impaired need help with channel. Any suggestions?
I think you should make things because people like it.
They do.
I don't know. I'm sorry, folks, if you absolutely hate it, but it's kind of fun, and I just have a blast doing it, so we're getting to do it.
Absolutely. My biggest thing, and this is for everybody, this is kind of broad spectrum, but do something that you enjoy and do something that brings value, whether that be through education, entertainment, or hopefully a little bit of both. You'll find your peoples. We've got an awesome fish family. We have a lot of different interests, and we all converge on a lot of things, and we diverge on some things. So do what you enjoy. Do something that you'll continue to maintain. It's really hard to stay actively committed to something if you're just doing it for the sake of doing it. So I would kind of find your thing. Maybe you have something that you can bring to the group that I can't and Ed can't and nobody else can that doesn't have, some sort of visual impairment. Maybe there's something that you can do to help improve our lives that we're not aware of. Tips or tricks that you've picked up in the hobby or with YouTubing, working around that, that might simplify things for us or give us new ideas. Oh, and see, you make Merdula mod, and he's already hiding people. I'm just kidding. That was Daniken. Daniken's falling asleep with his phone in his hand. Kenny E, wake up. Sorry, Kenny's pocket modding again. I hear my cat going nuts at the doorway.
Which one?
Oh, I like this. That's Espion. So Deborah Sanders says, Ed, write co-op, but use diamond shapes instead of O's. Kara C says, we got 103 likes. Awesome. Thank you all very, very much for that.
Holy cow. Over 100 people like this?
Yeah, we've got 100 people watching right now.
Susan sent me a $9.99 super chat with a flying hair.
See, that's how focused Ed was. He didn't even hear me say that.
I'm so sorry, Susan. Well, I'm going to buy her some cake.
That's why you put me in charge of reading this stuff, right?
Yeah, but it's embarrassing. Maybe I'll have to take the monetization off or something.
There we go. Dave's Aquarium Thought says hide Tennessee Fish Mafia in there. I like that.
That is cool. So far, this is, you can kind of see just a whole bunch of weird stuff. But let's do co-op. Let's see, how's he got it? Okay, there. Let's see. I don't know if I want to do co-op right at the top, but we'll try it.
Well, it is 11:47, so I guess I can unhide myself. Everybody's got to watch you play with your temple now for a while. We pull this up, and I saw a buddy of ours pop in the chat there saying hello. Exit solo layout. Again, Rack, I don't know if you were lurking earlier, but a huge thank you for that. And especially, of course, the more stickers for the Bird Garden YouTube channel. But the guitar picks, super awesome idea. I love that. Absolutely love that. And I appreciate that you sent Ed some of his own so I don't have to share these with him.
Yeah, they're cool.
All right, let me get the chat back up here. Make sure I didn't miss anything last minute.
I would like to learn how to play a banjo. Do you use a pick on a banjo?
I honestly do not know. False Terrace, Fish Room Fever shows you the links people will go to alleviate COVID boredom. Absolutely. Oh, Delilah the cat is in. She's not locked out or anything. She's just kind of hanging out in the hallway meowing at me. She could come over here if she wants. It's the same cat that, for those of you that were around that particular stream, scared the bejeebies out of me. She was on top of these aquariums back here and like just jumped down and freaked me out. Thumb pick on a banjo, says Susan for SLC.
Oh, cool.
All right. BJ Palmer says, Ed, you know we all love you. Just realized you gave us a chance to laugh like a bunch of kids again. So there we go.
That's what I'm here for.
I think we caught everything. Appreciate all of the super chat, super stickers. 100 people hanging out tonight. 98 watching currently, 107 thumbs ups. Thank you so very, very much for supporting my buddy Chattanooga Ed, awesome Fish Fam community member here.
Can you see the Fish Room Fever symbol?
I see that. I love it. I've got a little fishy right there. Is that a piranha?
Yes.
Awesome. I was just putting you on the spot. But what I'll say as always, thank you, Ed, for having me on. Always fun hanging out with you, buddy. I love it. I love all of you guys. I'm going to turn it over to Ed. Y'all already know. I appreciate you. We'll see you next go around.
Thank you, everybody. It was a fun stream. I really appreciate you guys letting me just goof off and have a fun time doing a craft. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I didn't know if you guys would like it or not, but I figured we're just going to do it and see what happens. Oh, my gosh. In Rack, I just see at the top of the page is a $20 super chat. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, Rack. You're too good to us. I want to hang out with Rack and just talk birds.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm serious. I want to go bird watching with Rack. I think that'd be so cool.
Well, and he's got a lot of experience with that. That's something to maybe talk about some on another stream. But he's run some projects and some clubs and some things, and I'm nowhere near as knowledgeable as he is, or even you, because you play Wingspan. But I absolutely love hanging out watching his live stream of the Bird Garden. So nothing else. I can enjoy it for the beauty of it.
Yeah, I just think that'd be amazing and fun. But yep, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. It's just so much fun to be able to goof off and be able to hang out with my friends. And John Cox, we'll catch you eventually here. If I don't see you tomorrow, maybe Saturday, or maybe you can just give me your address and I'll drop some of these worms off at your front door. Do something like that. But yep, guys, it was always awesome and a lot of fun. Thank you, James, for being so cool and having fun and doing all the hard work. And mods, you guys are all amazing. There's Chevy Fish, Murdural. Did I say that right? How do you say his name?
Close enough. I say Murdural, but
Murdural.
I may be incorrect on that.
We need to have Murdural up sometime so we can just talk to him about his name, because that would be cool. And then also all the other great mods. Zen Ginger is just amazing. She was awesome. Bird Garden is in the house is one of my mods today. Danikin, he fell asleep with it in his pocket.
Chevy Fish.
Yeah, Chevy's amazing. So if I missed a mod, I'm sorry. You guys, you make it all, you do a great job just keeping everything alive too. So
absolutely.
We'll catch you. Now, I don't know if we're going to do a show tomorrow on the Lefty Show because he got exposed to a kid with sickness and he has to do testing at 4:30. So we may not be doing the Lefty Show tomorrow at our normal time. Maybe it'll be Saturday or maybe super late Friday nights. Make sure you guys check out Dave's Thoughts or Aquarium Thoughts with Dave right after this because he is super cool. And then James is back
I'll be on
Saturday.
with Big Tank Hank tomorrow.
Oh, Big Tank Hank.
Big Tank Hank. That's already scheduled, so you can go check out Big Tank Hank and set a reminder for that. But definitely, please go check out Dave. I know some of you all are about to crash. You're headed out. You're headed to bed. Do me one favor. I would greatly appreciate this. Dave's an awesome guy. He's so thoughtful. Dave's Aquarium Thoughts. No pun intended. But he really is in terms of like our stream going over. And he's like, take your time. No worries.
Oh my
Even
gosh.
if you're about to head to bed, do me a favor. Go over to Dave's. Leave a like on there. Very much appreciate that. If you're going to hang out and you feel like doing a hashtag temple, since Ed had to play with his temple all night, I know you all will get a kick out of that and you can carry the chuckle over. But absolutely, please go check out Dave. If nothing else, go throw him a thumbs up. Give him that interaction. Help him out with the YouTube algorithm.
I had no idea that we ran so far late. Okay, guys, we'll see you later next week.